Okay, chat. Hello, hello, hello. I'm not on screen just because my camera is being shared with other things, but we're going to hop into the D&D post show, I believe, and we're going to be writing out, or some stuff is happening. I believe Logan has pieced out for the evening, but we will see who sticks around and have a little chit chat on what all happened in Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, we're going to head over there in just a hot second, and we should be good to go pretty much. So. Yep. Yay. Things are happening. Who'd had. Yep. Alright. I think we're good to go. Should be. Cool.
Logically enough.
Hello.
Alright. Well, okay. Love you all. I'm sure we'll see you soon. Take care. Be happy. Send it. I don't know who started the way, but send it.
Send.
Full send. Do it.
There we go.
All right, let me see here. Oh, there it is. Hey, it worked.
There it is. It worked because I didn't do it.
It worked because you didn't do it.
It's the damn truth, yo.
All right, let's just get you all into a nice, better part of the screen so it doesn't look all shitty. There we go. There we go. Here we go, haha! I think that should work. I think we're all on screen where we need to be, right? Yeah?
Hey, that looks good to me.
We did it! Oh my god, it worked! It did work! Huzzah!
I sound staticky on Discord. Yeah, give me 1 sec here. I might have to leave the call and come back.
Sir!
Oh no. Oh, Rob, thank you for following. I appreciate that. How was chat doing? Hello. Oh, someone dropped and came back, so now the screen is uneven. God damn it, Lane. All right. Hi. Did I miss anything while I was setting up things?
Nope. Lane just said goodbye, all, and that was about it.
All right. Well, so long as I didn't miss anything important. Although I would have liked to have said goodbye to him.
Well, Lane's gonna be back. He just had to fix up his.
Oh, I meant Logan.
His audio. Oh, Logan.
Yeah, he peaced out. He peaced out without even saying goodbye to me.
Yeah, that's Logan. He does
monster. That. What an absolute. All right. Anyways. Hello. Hi, chat. How's it going? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the post show, where we talk about post show things. Remember to refresh or remove. Oh yes, right. You for affiliate. Oh, thank you, Miss.
There's Lane.
Hello, welcome back. Oh, look, you guys, all pretty and
Do I still
in a
sound
square.
like shit?
You're maybe a little bit quiet, but otherwise you sound fine.
I do sound good? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, just a
I was
smidge quiet.
testing. Okay.
Just a smidge quiet. Let's see here. I'm so happy that Alex and I have
how about now?
Google Doc now. That's better, yeah.
Cool.
Alex is sleepy. Okay, I see. Just share my question, Liz, or I'll ask them next time. Okay, well, have a good night. Thank you for coming.
I'm so excited about this questions Google Doc that apparently is happening.
There's a questions Google Doc?
Yeah, Ms. Liz and Alex made one during the stream tonight.
They're compiling questions? Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you crazy kids.
I goes where I go.
Guys, we've made it. You know you've made it when there is a Google Doc.
Yeah. I mean, fan art is one thing, but the Google Doc, that's where it's really at.
It's true.
I feel pretty damn good. I don't know about y'all, but that felt good to me.
I'm not a sad. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
you would be a sad boy. I thought it would be another Apollo showing up.
That's what I thought. I was like, here we go. We're just finally starting to relax, and then time stops. I'm like,
Catnip cat, by the way. For your viewing pleasure, I just put some catnip down there.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Warren, I honestly, for a second, thought you were just gonna slam the door open and just yell, "What do you want?"
No, Puck wasn't quite there yet. He has questions for Apollo, but those will come later.
I would hope so. That's what I was going for today.
Thomas, is that the Millennium Falcon? Oh man.
Yeah, I bought this before quarantine. Back when I had money. It cost me $1,000 Canadian. It is the second largest Lego set to exist.
Holy shit! You built it yourself? Yeah.
Yep, I built it in about 4 days because quarantine had just started and I had nothing to do with my life.
Really good timing then that you got it right before quarantine.
Yep.
Guys, if you have questions for me, I'll be back in one moment. I'm just gonna wipe this off my lip because it's like kind of gross tasting.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll be back in like a minute.
This is your birthday present. Oh boy. So, yeah, I don't know. Did we want to talk about Artemis showing up? That seemed to be the most recent thing. While we wait for Lane to come back.
Are you feeling about seeing Artemis after Apollo showed up this morning?
I really thought it was just gonna be Apollo again. So when Artemis showed up, I was like, two gods. And then it was like error 404, file not found. Just kind of like, okay. So, I mean, it's weird because like just from her demeanor and everything, it was like, man, Artemis is coming off as like really genuine right now, but Puck is just like not sure how to feel about deities right at this moment. I don't know. It was like one of those moments where like she was talking and Puck was like still trying to like, he was trying to pay attention, but he was also like so just like, what is happening? Two gods in one day.
It's a lot.
So yeah, he was kind of like on the back foot with the whole thing because he's like, well, why? At first, when another god showed up, I'm like, oh, is this gonna be Athena? Because I was like, Athena might be here because of Victor or something like that. And then there was Artemis, and she was like telling him about things to do with Apollo and like Apollo's backstory and that Puck was like important and like he had been like a point of like pride or like something that Apollo had like boasted about, and I was like, I don't know how to feel about any of this.
When in your like you don't have to reveal this if it wouldn't be like appropriate for us to know, but when did Puck and Apollo first like connect? How long ago was that?
Let's see here. That would have been roughly, I want to say roughly 5 years ago at this point.
Okay. Oh my god, you were baby. You were so baby.
I was quite young, yes.
Yeah.
Were a no insight check on Artemis? I did insight check. I just rolled really subpar. I'm trying to remember everything that she said because she was talking about how like Ares and someone else were like having a hard time. Ares and Apollo?
Yeah, the gods are like at it.
And I was like, really? Those two? I mean, like, it makes sense because Ares is like the god of war and Apollo's, I guess, like the god of like healing and like life in a sense. But it just, yeah, I'm curious about that. But yeah, it was just very strange to have her say like, I remember like when he first like got you, he was like so inspired and jazzed about it. And I was like, what? And then she was like, and I like you too. And I'm like, wait, you've been watching me too? And I'm like, I don't know what is happening.
Puck's looking around every corner like he's being constantly surveilled by all the gods now.
Yeah. Just sometimes it feels like someone's watching me, you know?
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Yeah, I'm in the bath,
DMCA'd.
and I'm just kind of like, oh god, I've probably got like how many gods peeking in on me right now. Yeah, no. So I mean, she seems very nice. I'm also half wondering if her showing up isn't because Lame was watching me play Hades earlier, and I was talking to Artemis a lot, and he was like, I really like the Artemis vibe, and I was like, oh really? So, but yeah, I was also half tempted to tell Talon, I'm like, oh, by the way, you know, like when I was trying to like cheer you up a little bit, I was also tempted to say like, oh, by the way, like Artemis thinks you're cool or whatever, but then I was like, that's weird to say. Like, you can't just be like, oh, by the way.
Did Artemis say that? Because I was definitely like legitimately looking at my prop book at that point. I don't think I heard that.
Yeah, no, she was when she said she was saying like I like you as well, Puck, and your friend there, Talon, like she's pretty nifty too.
Artemis would like Talon though. That seems kind of correct.
That seems to check out.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of agree on a lot of things.
Yeah,
Ranger, single woman, huntress, you know.
Yeah.
Could the newborn be Athena Avatar? Probably not.
I'm gonna say no, just because I don't think Lane's thought that far ahead about it.
Athena didn't have the most normal birth. I mean, that'd be strange because also Athena, like, that's... The gods aren't really part of, like, this realm, like, this domain. Like, the Greek gods aren't really a thing here as much as South. So, I feel like if gods were just, like, birthing their avatars in other gods' domains, there'd be, like, some shit starting, like, why are you, like, birthing your avatars in my kingdom, you know, like...
A Trojan horse, and it's just like a pregnant orc.
Yeah. I can't trust anything these days.
What's your go-to road trip music, Miss Liz?
Honestly, like I haven't done like a whole lot of road trips. I mean, it's usually like some kind of rock, generally speaking, but if I'm just by myself, I have my whole like library on shuffle half the time, so it's like whatever comes up in like the 2,000 3,000 songs I have.
Fair. I typically rock the good old show tunes and or Critical Role podcasts.
Yeah, that's good. That would be good for road trips, actually. I just got into Critical Role in the last, like, 6 months, so haven't had the opportunity.
You are one of us. Join us.
No, I tune in every week like it's my favorite TV show, and I, like, stream it onto my TV in my living room and shut off all the lights. It's great. My go-to road trip music is... It's a lot of, like, songs that, like, usually bring back, like, memories of, like, old road trips, so a lot of, like... 80s rock, but also like folk music, Jim Croce, Counting Crows, August and Everything After. That album is always on my road trip playlist because I know every word to the whole album. Yeah, just mostly like older tunes for road trips, and also just like any sing-along. La Vie Boheme from Rent is always in the road trip playlist because 8 minutes of just screaming about dildos is like the best thing ever. So
I'm definitely like I guess classic punk rock is like my thing. I don't know. I like it. Like a lot of like Sum 41, Blink 182, some of that stuff. Oh, also, Rob, just to give you a bit of a better idea, since you're new about all the gods and things. So, the like northwestern continent, which is where we're at, is like all the Norse gods. Sans
Groma.
Odin? No, Groma is where I'm from. This is Westar.
We're in Westar.
South is the Roman Federation, which is like a collection of Greek islands, and that's where all the Greek gods reside. And then northeast is like the Egyptian kind of area where all of the Egyptian gods reside.
Rob, there is world maps in the Discord, and I know that Alex got into the Discord, so I'm sure she can invite you in and look at the maps. Also just hang out.
Yes, all the Discords, join all of them. Mine too.
Ooh, yeah, and Cantraption Cantina. Alex, question to all. from Alex Von Stan. Tonight we saw some big character traits, from Harold's absolute awkwardness to Puck's never-ending self-doubt. Picture being daddy. Do any of you channel people in real life for your characters?
Channel people in real. Oh, okay. Like other people.
Taking inspiration from real people.
I don't think so for my part. I don't necessarily see Puck as like some other person from my life. I just kind of I feel out Puck as just like a different version of myself, and I just kind of see where that person goes and what their like mental emotional state leads to and that sort of thing. So I guess I just try and tap into some of my own like childlike insecurities and that sort of thing when playing Puck, as well as some of his strengths. If that answers the question.
For Talon, like this is only my second campaign, second time playing D&D. Sort of, there was really no break between campaign 1 and campaign 2. But with my character in campaign 1, Naima, it was really like all of the anger and like darkest parts of myself, and I really wanted to switch that up. So Talon, kind of like how Warren was saying, is just all those like bright parts of me. I've just chosen characteristics that I want to like supplant onto her from my own self in a way. It's kind of, Talon is kind of who I has the positivity I wish I had as a person. It's here in front of you right now. These goals for me emotionally, I guess.
Fair.
I get that.
Yeah.
For me, it is me. Why do you think it is so natural for me to make Harold so awkward?
Yeah, you awkward fuck.
Yeah. Harold is the smart. Harold is me if I was a big brain. Thomas is not big brain. Thomas is okay brain. Yeah, he's just like slightly rocky road brain, not quite flat and smooth, but not quite mountainous. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's why it's so easy for me to just like be in myself, is because Thomas is mostly in a shell, and at least younger Thomas, very much so. So that is the inspiration for Harold being so bloody awkward and quiet all the time. And I can see it annoys everyone to no end, and that is what I love about it.
Of course, he would just love to torture all of us.
I mean, but listen, your dad loves you.
That's just how you build characters.
And you love your dad. I heard that. I heard you say you love him to your dad.
Which was so sweet and awkward and sweet.
And now you can put on your hat and you can be all insecure, and then you can be verified that your dad, when he says he loves you, and then you have no excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny when Victor was like, I feel like you of all people will like get the most out of this, and then, so like now when you think people don't like you, you can read your mind and their minds and like be put at ease.
Something I wanted, I think I put this in chat during everything, but I just wanted to point out that very clearly Ariel and Sarifa have had girl talk. Clearly.
Apparently, yes.
And I'm just trying to imagine Sarifa and Ariel in a girl talk situation, you know? They are at entirely opposite things. That's a fun visual in my brain.
Thomas, a question from Alex tonight was it was a big night for Harold. One of the sweetest moments in my life was getting the opportunity to get a hand hug, palm together, and wrap thumbs around each other's hands from someone who was uncomfortable with touch. Harold had the opportunity to have an intimate moment like this on the stream with his father. What was that moment like for Harold? How does that impact Harold's relationships?
So I think if I'm understanding the first part of the question, being the hug from Ariel, Harold is terrified of Ariel.
Oh yeah, no, that reads.
If that, yeah, he to him, he's like, she can kill me if she wants to. I'm going to make no sudden movements because I don't know what makes her tick. She can hug me if she wants, but I'm not gonna do anything. And then hugging his dad, it just, like, for Harold, he's never really had a physical connection with many people, if anyone. And so when his dad, was just like making an offer, and especially since he knows that his dad doesn't really remember all of the things that he's done, it was kind of just like, yeah, this is okay. I can do this. And plus Harold doesn't really know when he's ever going to see his dad again, because one, if we follow this path of going after Talon's mom, for all we know, we could never return. We could go to Smolenskshire, get on a boat, sail to Groma, and spend the rest of the campaign in Groma. We don't know that. So it's just like, yeah, I can hug my dad. That's fine. He's my dad. I may never see him again. I can give him a hug. And as for how it impacts future relationships, it doesn't. I mean, Harold is so consumed by himself that until, unless people make an effort and he feels like he can trust them, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of confidence coming from him, because he doesn't understand that side of people. He doesn't what's the best way I can put this? He doesn't human well. He doesn't people very well. So yeah, he's getting more comfortable with the group, but as him buried headfirst in his notebooks while everyone else is kind of surrounded by Talon, or Talon is surrounded by everyone else, sorry. He's still very I'm just gonna be over here. If you need me, call for me.
Your eyeliner's looking real sexy.
Thanks, it did not come off. Look
No.
how dark my fucking eyebrows are.
Very well defined.
Oh, now that I'm speaking, hey Goob, how are you? Also, hey everybody.
Hello, welcome back.
Wayne, do you have a favorite moment from tonight as the DM?
Did you guys cover favorite moments already?
I don't think so.
No, we haven't. So you can
Okay.
start it off.
I never start off. Give me a sec. Let me think. You're good. Shit. I don't know. This is so hard for me. I
Picking between
really-
your children.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, did I really enjoy the moment of having I've really been enjoying having Ariel and Sarifa play off of each other just in general. That was really nice. It was also really nice to see the party, well, namely at this point, Victor, Puck, and Talon, so immediately be like, we're not fighting these people, you know, like when they met those people in the woods, they were just like, well, we're not gonna fight them, we're going to explain to them they're wrong, and it's gonna work. And there was no like, we're gonna kill you if it doesn't work. It was just like, you're making a poor choice, you need to rethink this. Like Victor's moment when he looked at him and he was like, do you know how much I would give to have that number back at 0? That's a very powerful like line, essentially, right? Like that's a very powerful idea, even, that I don't think any of us can truly really appreciate, you know, even like myself, you know, we've all been through shitty things, but I don't know, I'm pretty confident none of you have killed somebody, at least not that I know of. And I imagine that that's got to be something that sticks with you forever, right? No matter who it is, no matter what the situation, I'm sure that is something that sticks with you for the rest of your life. And just using that as the be all end all of like, don't do this, you know, like even if you are able to do it, why? And I thought that was really sweet that you never see that in Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's never like we're people with like serious emotional trauma from the shit that we've done to other people, not even the stuff that's happened to us, that we do to people all the time.
It was a really beautiful moment.
Yeah, I like that shit.
None of that happened in campaign 1. None of it.
No. I think that's one of the things I love so much about this campaign, about Blood and Ice, is that it just feels so much more real, you know, like real people in a setting that doesn't make any sense, right? You know, and this fantasy war-torn setting that also has a lot of similarities to the world we live in today. And so it really is nice to have characters who are like, we really are people. At the end of the day, we're just people. And this shit hurts. And even Victor being man enough to be like, yeah, that shit hurts. Don't do it. Like if you can choose to not do it, then don't do it. Go home.
Love it.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, who wants to follow that up?
Now that I'm off my soapbox, somebody else please speak.
I mean, mine's not like selfishly. It's like a moment that I had because, like, with it, I was lost in the sauce of the role play, and I wasn't expecting to like feel as much as I did. But when we were talking about Talon's mom toward the end there with Talon and Victor, I started to like really get in my feels. Didn't see that coming. Player me did not see that coming. I didn't think I was going to react like that, and I did. And I think it was very revealing of Talon, both as much to all of you as it was to me, actually. So I really enjoyed that. Seeing Talon, you know, a little bit more down or something, or concerned, upset, because she has definitely made herself to be sort of like the haha of the whole party, right? So it's nice to get her a little more three-dimensional, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I saw that moment kind of like playing out, like just across your features, just how it seemed to like resonate with you, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I mean, it's more of like what I just said, I think, right? Is like they're human, they're people. Like they have these fears and feelings, and it's not just like a quest to go and find my mother. It's, oh my god, I'm supposed to protect my mom, and I got sidetracked for 5 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
actually,
really like
that final decision actually to stay the night at the house actually is based on something that Talon's mom taught her, and that you can't be at your best and do your best if you're exhausted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though she feels this sense of urgency now, she's like, oh, always says, better get some rest. You know?
Good advice.
It is.
You're no good to anybody if you're, half dead.
Mm-hmm. She's a smart lady. Very smart lady.
Harold, do you have a favorite moment?
mean, I did like kind of the same moment that Lane had with that whole conversation. You know, because there was part of me that was just wanting to like walk into that conversation just to stir the pot and see what the fuck would happen. But at the same time, it was also just like Harold's like back 10 feet. You know, like Harold's back 30 feet. He doesn't know what this conversation is. He doesn't know what they're talking about. You know, basically he's just like, well, the party went off to go help someone. He's just like, they'll be back. Like, it doesn't take too long for them to, you know, get someone out of a trap, and then Puck will heal them. They'll talk to them for a little bit, get them on their way, and then they'll back and we'll continue on our adventure.
Yeah,
So
it was only like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. So like it was just like, you know, that little bit of just like realism was nice, because other than that, like, I mean, for a personal Harold moment, there wasn't a whole lot that happened besides, you know, him saying goodbye to his dad, because, you know, Harold is just an awkward shy boy. So yeah, I mean, favorite moment would have to be that, just because, you know, I as a person was just like, I want to step into this conversation just to see what would happen, but no, this is already going on a good track.
Hands off.
Maybe the best track, because all of those who were orc heritage weren't in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I knew what I was doing was like, well, I don't want Talna to be there because that will make this more difficult for everyone. But also, Talna won't want to be there because she knows that that's how it works, right? Like, she's smart. There's a reason Gazdan sent her. It's because she understands the mind of little people. Well, you know, better than most orcs do. And she was like, if I roll up, man, fuck, everybody's gonna be pissed, right? Smart lady. Pericles,
Yeah.
You got a favorite moment of the night?
I mean, what do I pick? Like the wet smacking sounds in the cabin between Puck and Victor, or perhaps the moment where I rolled 3 nat 1s on a vivisection.
That was rough.
That was tough, because I'm like already trying to improv being any kind of competent at being like.
It turns out you're not competent at all.
Yeah, you didn't have to improv being competent, because it went fucking bad.
Well, I was also referring to like everything leading up to that. I'm like, okay, so what would Puck know to do here, and like what would I fucking know to do here? Yeah. I think honestly my favorite moment, because there's a few interesting things that happened, but I think the moment I liked the most was actually just at the end when we're in the cabin and everyone's like, you know, sitting by the fire, washing things, whatever, and then time stops. For Puck in that moment, it was just kind of like, it's such an interesting, like, I don't know, like I felt like an eternal twinge, because I was just kind of like, here we are, things are finally slowing down again, like I can maybe try and catch my breath, and then time stops, and it was just kind of like, it was like the hand of like fate or whatever just like pulled the lever and was like, hold on a second there, buddy.
Not just yet.
And so it's just like this moment of like can't I like just get like one evening to just like before I'm pulled back into this. And so when he went over there, like, yeah, I think Thomas was expecting me to be more like, what the fuck do you want, Apollo? But yeah, Puck was just kind of like, just a little, I guess, like apprehensive or like reluctant, I guess, and so he was just kind of like, all right, like what's gonna happen next? Like I know I'm gonna have to talk to him again soon. And then when it wasn't him, I was like, oh, so I think that was probably my favorite moment from the evening.
Yeah, I definitely threw a curveball tonight.
Hey, so like, listen, just asking, like, Artemis showing up, that wouldn't have anything to do with like how many times I saw Artemis while playing Hades, and you were watching, and you were like, hey, I like Artemis's like vibe.
No, I decided that beforehand, which is why I thought it was super funny you were playing Hades. And basically, anytime I see you playing Hades, I'm like, man, this is so much fodder. But no, I've been thinking about the whole, okay, I don't want to spoil anything. I never do, and it's always hard for me in these conversations to not spoil stuff. I've done a lot of thinking about all of the characters now. I mean, it's been 2.5 months. I'd be a stupid DM if I hadn't done a lot of time thinking about them, right? And
Yeah.
I'm seeing possible arcs, of course, depending on the trajectory you want to go, but I kind of get the sense, I think, of where everybody's wanting to head. And so I'm building these longer, bigger, meatier arcs, and I'm just getting so excited that it's hard for me to rein it in and not do too much too soon. It's really hard because I have so many ideas, and I just don't know when is the right time to do them, and I kind of have to let you guys stumble into them, but also I have to give you options to do, right? It's not like you're just gonna walk around and be like, what do you want to do today? I want to build a school. All right, let's build a school. And if you guys wanted to play that kind of game, we could. I just don't get that vibe from all y'all that you want to build a school and run like a small trade shop in town and make 30 gold a week and slowly build that into an empire, you know? This isn't King of Retail.
Simulator. Peasant Simulator.
So yeah, I've actually been struggling with that a lot. How to feed you guys stuff without it being like a crazy difficult lore dump to swallow, you know?
Yeah. I think the pacing, like as much as like the pacing is probably like in part a challenge for you, I'm assuming that also helps in a way as well, just because nothing's moving super fast, so you kind of get to like really cherry pick the moments to really add it in.
Yeah, and part of that's true, but I also just want to throw it all in all the time right now, and that's my biggest problem.
Because exciting, right? Lane.
Yo, what's up?
So first to you and then to everybody else, but
yeah,
question from Alex. Chat has begun to be consistently more active. How does this affect the session?
I guess for me, I try not to read it too much, actually, which is funny because when I'm like streaming, I'm like, I glance at chat literally every 15 seconds, bare minimum, right? Like I'm like boom, boom all the time. And so it's actually harder for me to stay focused in on what I'm doing. But when I see chat move, it gets me excited, right? Like I feel like warm and fuzzy, and like every once in a while I'll look at the number and, you know, every week it goes up, and that's really rewarding, right? Like it's very rewarding to see like your work pay off, right? But also it's distracting. It's definitely distracting. It really is. I do my best.
I love having chat be super active because it's just a really good sign that we're doing what we set out to do by streaming this, in that, you know, creating something that people can get invested in, can feel that they're involved in, you know. And so many of the people that are viewing us now are our friends, and also people that have become our friends in the case of Goob and Miss Liz. And it's really wonderful to see the community kind of building around this campaign, you know? Like, I'm getting TikToks now from Miss Liz and being like, this is so Talon, and that's incredible to me that someone knows her well enough that like she's being referenced accurately outside of like the context she exists in, you know? I think that's incredible. And I love it. I did see at one point, someone said something about me reading the chat. I didn't do anything specifically because of chat. I am just peeking at it. If anything happened that was talked about in chat, it's purely coincidence, because I try not to pull anything directly from that. So
I do love seeing Daddy Victor in chat. I will say
I
that.
love seeing Daddy
I
Victor.
just want to
in chat.
jump in. It's my favorite thing to see when I glance.
Yeah. Warren, Thomas, thoughts?
I would say that I agree with Lane that it is distracting. And like it's a good thing. Like I like having chat and having them be active for sure. For me personally, I think I have to rein in a little bit how much I pay attention to chat. Because sometimes I feel like I'm getting too distracted and then I'm like missing something that's happening. I will sometimes like click to a different tab when I'm like doing something, so like I can't see chat moving, so I'm just like focused on what's happening. But oftentimes if whatever happens, like if it's like a more like plot driven or like emotionally charged scene and it's like done and Lane goes to somebody else, I will very often go back to chat and be like, what are people saying?
Me too.
So yeah, that's about me.
Yeah. I mean, half the time I can't have my chat open because it eats up too much bandwidth on my phone, and I'm afraid of if I do that, I'm going to cause my internet to crash. So I don't particularly spend a whole lot of time looking at chat. I mean, I do occasionally am able to have it open, which is always nice. But just like, I don't know, I think having a community that is so involved is nice. I feel like it just shouldn't influence us and our characters. Like there's almost kind of like a part of me that's just like, we should let chat do its own thing, and then they can ask us questions now. You know, like this is the time for us to interact with chat, whereas during the actual show it's us playing a game and we're all focused on each other. If that makes sense. Not to say like, you know, what anyone in chat is doing is wrong and that we shouldn't be paying attention to you. It's just like we should be focusing on the game that we're playing, not worrying about what people are mentioning in chat.
Yeah, but I generally think that that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and again, not to say that, you know, any of us are actually, you know, not doing that. It's just like, that's just my opinion on what we should be doing.
We have another question from Rob.
We did, yeah. Do the players enjoy letting the story simmer, so to speak? Do you mind waiting to get to the movement of the plot if that means you get to roleplay? I would say it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit sometimes, because like when the plot moves, sometimes that's what like bumps up the roleplay in a sense. It's like, you know, when something kind of dramatic happens and then we get a minute afterwards, that's kind of when some of the more intense roleplay can end up happening.
Agreed.
Sometimes during, you know?
This is also true. Like you could be in the middle of a battle, and that's when the best roleplay could end up happening for that evening. I think with these last couple of games that we've had, just because we are kind of like, all right, we're finally leaving Broken Keep, and it's just like, this is kind of like the farewell episode a little bit to these characters that we might not see for a little while. And so, you know, it was nice to be able to like touch base with all like the key people and be like, hey, you know, we're heading out, you know, this is kind of like what we have to say now until we see each other again. So I'm glad we got that opportunity. But I would say it kind of goes hand in hand.
I would agree. I really treasure the roleplay moments a lot personally. So I love when we get a good like bit of time to really play around with that. It's definitely something that like one leads into another. Puck and Talon crying in the hallway. Still one of my favorite moments from the campaign so far.
Fair. Valid.
Oh man.
Randolph, does playing Twister increase dexterity?
Yes.
Game.
Yeah. Except it
Good
doesn't
to
exist.
know. I'm gonna write that down.
It doesn't exist, so.
Do you think Talon and her mom haven't invented games? How did you think of the name Smolemshire?
You want to know the real answer?
Yeah.
So back in my first year of theater school, we did a show called Under Milkwood, and it was really bad. But one of my favorite things about Under Milkwood, one of my favorite things about Under Milkwood was the town name that we were taking place in was, I gotta take my gum out. I can't say it with gum in my mouth. I'm not joking. I really can't. The town that we were from was Clechlerigib, right? Clechlerigib, I think. Clechlerigib. Something like that. It's somewhere in there, in that general vicinity. And I was like, man, I really like those like consonant, like those multiple syllables to just be like smashed together like that. And it has to come out rhythmically or it sounds like shit. So the people who are from there, you know, they know how to say it, right? It's Smolemshire. Anyone else who sees it goes Smellem Shire, Smellem Shire. And that's kind of how it's designed to be, is like anyone who's not local will struggle to say that name. And that's kind of what I wanted for Smolemshire.
Nice.
Love
Agreed.
it.
Yeah, it's got Welsh backgrounds. It's got Welsh roots basically, and all of Westgar is kind of Eurocentric for the most part. Like that's where most of the influence comes from. They happen to have the Norse pantheon, so we do have a lot of like Viking analogs, but more than that, we've got, you know, like Old English, Old French, Old Germanic, all have roots here in this continent that we have yet to see, of course, except for a few. I have to work on my accents a little bit, but I'm struggling.
Yeah, I was surprised with the French dwarf. I was like, well, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
He's not a dwarf. He was a human.
Oh,
His
okay.
friend was a dwarf.
Oh,
okay.
That's my bad. I probably screwed that up.
Yeah, I thought they were both dwarves.
No, sorry.
But that being said, I know the struggle of trying to do a French accent for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. It's something you have to work on. But like, I remember there was one time I tried to do. There was one time I tried to do a French accent. And it was coming out like some kind of like Scandinavian like Russian accent sort of thing. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand.
I can't do a French accent at all. I slip directly into the accent I used when I worked at the Ukrainian village. Anytime.
Well, for some reason, I went to Yiddish for a French guy, and that was not very smart. Hello.
I mean, it's hilarious, so we'll give you points for comedy.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the accent struggle quite a bit.
Yeah. Do we have any other pressing immediate questions? Lee and Logan, Talon, and Victor left without saying goodbye to Biscuit and Grick. How do you think your characters will feel once they realize this error?
I mean, Grick knows that Talon lives close by, so I'm hoping that perhaps that will not be a huge issue. Talon will definitely feel that though. Sure. She's not gonna realize till they get to Smolemshire, probably either.
Perfect.
You two were freaking out. I love that.
I'm not sure that Victor will have much of an opinion on it. Honestly, he'll be like, "Yeah."
I don't think he'll feel bad.
Was there anyone, like any conversation or anyone you want to talk to before we left that you didn't get a chance to?
Grick and Biscuit, apparently, but yeah, that's it.
Not really. I mean, Harold might have appreciated being able to talk to the blacksmith one last time. You know, just as like a sort of like, yeah, we're going now. Thanks for teaching me some stuff. Maybe I'll be back. I don't know.
Wink.
But like, yeah. Never to return again. But other than that, it's just there wasn't. I mean, he said goodbye to his dad, and that was about it. Those are all the people that he cared about.
I mean, hey,
that were there.
we have another blacksmith we could go visit now.
Yes.
If we want
True.
to bring you along, you know, we just have to like smooth out the whole thing that you're a half orc and whatever, because you weren't actually there when we had this conversation. But dwarf smiths,
I wrote it down.
accomplished.
I wrote it down.
I also added it to my notes. I feel like I got to talk to pretty much everyone that I wanted to, but it was interesting to see the Ariel Sarifa dynamic after things had calmed down some, and it was the most normal I'd seen Sarifa in a while. Where it was very much like, stop it, you're embarrassing me. But yeah, so I thought that was a very fun moment, and also I'm just kind of like, part of Puck was just kind of like, I don't often say anything that like would be bad if someone overheard it, but I'm also a little bit glad that I'll be like more than 200 yards away from Ariel if I happen to say anything that would upset her. But fuck, Lane. I mean, like, I just had like a bad morning, and then you're like, baby's coming, and I'm like, God damn it! All right, fine,
Yeah.
fine. I'll be good again.
The door was so good.
Look, you know, the dude can handle anything, right? But a baby is big.
Can't fight a baby.
You know,
Right?
you can't fight a baby.
Nor
I
should
mean,
you
could.
if he doesn't want to.
Yo, guys, how many toddlers do you think Guston could take? But I
12.
at least 12. I mean, I guess that depends. Are we talking about like Galana toddlers or like, anyways?
Or normal
One.
babies.
One maybe.
So, with that, I was in my mind. I was like, man, it's a good thing Puck didn't like party too hard, because, you know, if he had been like half passed out, drunk or whatever, this would have been bad. And then I rolled all those nat ones, and I was like, well, you know what? At least they can't blame it on me being fucking drunk. Yeah, you know. So,
Valid.
honestly, I was like, I rolled the first nat one. I'm like, all right, we're using luck. Because I was like, anything but a 1, basically. Like, anything but a 1 will at least land me in, like, the 10 mark, so it's not at least the worst. And then I rolled a different dice, and it was still a 1. And I was like, well, it seems like Apollo just wants me to really fuck this. And then they're like, another luck die. I'm like, all right, let's go back to the first die. And then it was another 1. And I was like, I think I'm just gonna have to eat this one, guys. And in my brain, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill the mom, and that's gonna, like, this will be like just the worst. Like, I'll kill her by accident, and then the child will be an orphan, and then I'm gonna feel like just fucking shit. And fortunately, not that bad.
Here's the thing. You might have rolled a 1, but that's still a 9. You know, if you had rolled a 5 or under, she would have been dead. Like, dead. Right then and there. Like, for real. And that's why I asked for your total, because I was like, if you hit over 5, you have time, right? Like, she's not gonna die instantly. I still had to make it believable that you really fucked her up, and that it was like, you have 1 round. Like, if you don't literally fix her now, she dies.
Oh yeah, no. As I was doing this and you were describing it, I'm like, I got it. Like, as soon as I got it, like, I heal that. I gotta heal that. Like, my brain was like, focus on the baby first, but like immediately fucking heal that. Yeah, it was a good time. I was very much internally panicking because I'm like, okay, I need a knife. I'm pretty sure it's gotta be hot. How hot? Like, probably pretty hot. That sounds uncomfortable. No, I'm pretty sure it has to be hot.
Make it hot.
I know how chat was fucking roasting me because I was like, because I recommended the fucking like water birth, and they're like, why didn't you ask her? And I'm like, I'm not thinking that far ahead. The baby is here. Everyone's looking to me for advice.
Puck's just like, I am just a child.
I think it was a good call in the end. Delivering a child.
I was like, listen, that sounds like, I'm pretty sure that's a thing that they do, especially if it's like a home birth and stuff like that. Like, yeah, okay, let's go with that. I disagree, you won't find it. As a new viewer, I definitely thought that Puck was the unluckiest halfling that ever was a halfling. I'm a half elf. I'm not that small, but yes, it was very unlucky.
Yeah. He's half elf because he's got luck points because we have the chat. The chat can buy luck points for people with channel points. So that's why he's the luckiest man alive.
I loved how Thomas, you did the math on it, and you're like, yeah, that's a 1 in 8,000 chance of you doing that at that moment. And I was like, yeah, it would be right now.
Yeah.
It was fate. It was fate for her to have a horrible childbirth. It was fate.
Yeah.
Literally fucking fate. And I was kind of pumped about it.
And then of course, fast forward to fucking fighting with Victor, just doing random swings. I'm like, I'm gonna roll like amazing here, aren't I? And then I was like, yeah, that's a 6. That's Matt's damage. Couldn't have happened when I was fighting fucking Harold's dad. I'm rolling like 1s and 2s trying to kill Ortiz. But here I roll the 6s. I was a little upset, you guys.
Yeah, that tracks.
Also, I was a little bit, when I asked for training, I was like, I don't need training on like smacking things. Like, I'm good enough at that. I'm talking about like the other stuff. But he's like, let's just focus on the basics of you hitting something. I'm like, I can hit stuff. That's not.
I hit. I want to push. I want to do push-ups, bro. I want to do fucking push-ups, bro. Jump rope, that kind of shit.
You have like morning workouts. We're gonna have like Puck in like fields doing like quick feet like in between sticks.
Like literally, that's what I was thinking when I asked you guys for training. I was like,
oh, that is not what you're gonna get from these two characters, honey.
Oh yeah, I know. But like when I was sitting there, because I was contemplating when to like ask you guys, and then all the like childbirth stuff happened, and then afterwards everyone's just kind of like, Puck, you look pale, and I was like, just like get it together, god damn it. And I'm like, so then that was the moment I was like, I want you to train me. And I was envisioning like some kind of like morning like routine where I was just kind of like, just throw the book at me and like just do whatever you think is best to like get me there. So yeah,
we're just gonna fight you until you're better. So
I mean, if that's what it takes.
Probably. I mean,
pretty
you
much.
guys are going to be doing a lot of wrestling, so.
Talon loves wrestling so much.
It's a thing now.
Now that she's tried it. Yeah. Miss Liz had something a little ways up for me, so I'm curious about that. Talon is a secret love child who has had almost no exposure to people, but is so exuberant. Is there any masking of deeper feelings of not being enough or having to be extra to be worthy of attention? Not really. She's just a genuine extrovert. She just hasn't had access to people before. And she doesn't have a total awareness of social convention, of course, because of being so isolated. So she just doesn't really understand that she should be dialing it back at some point. This is genuinely just who she is as a person. Very happy to be here in general all the time. Also, she being an extrovert, meeting other people is like a big deal. So there may be a certain amount of like calming down that happens once she gets used to being around everyone after a little while. But no, this is genuinely who she is, I guess.
What's this other one? I got
like this
burps.
character
Jesus.
so much.
Burps.
It's that burrito baby coming back.
Oh yeah.
You're about to deliver a burrito toddler, bro.
It's
Gotta be a
crazy.
big boy.
Listen, it's crazy how like you eat burritos and you're like, all right, that's about good, but then like half an hour later you're like, whoa, there's more. I ate more burrito than I thought.
Every time I eat Chipotle.
Victor, why did you not see Barbarian? Are you describing? Oh, that's descriptions of the people again.
Yes.
What did you say about me again? You were telling there was something in your description. before.
Oh, you in the other one, she had put prefers water births.
Oh yeah,
Included in that
yeah.
description.
I felt real called out with that. I was like, listen, hold on a second.
That was hilarious and also mean. I loved
I
it.
loved
I
it.
think was it Miss Liz or was it no? I thought it was Alex that said that. I'm not sure.
I think they're actually copy pasting from the same document at this
Yeah,
point. They're very
those
well
two
organized
nerds-
between the two
Those
of
two
them.
nerds are working together really well to make this shit work even better than it should. It's great.
Yes.
Or, I don't want to say even better, just better than it should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Miss Liz. Rob's got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess aside from the stress of the baby birth and like everyone fucking like passing out and throwing up and then going back to sleep because you're like, Puck can handle this. Meanwhile, Puck's like, fuck.
But when it all started to go south, I was definitely sitting here like, yeah, like we did the right thing for our characters, but like now I'm stressed, you know?
I mean, honestly, you two being hungover there, and especially if you were already nauseous, like you guys would have probably just thrown up too, and then there'd be like
Oh,
three
yeah.
people's fucking vomit plus blood and everything else. It'd be like,
In a
I
delivery
can't.
room.
Very messy situation.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what Victor and I could possibly help with in childbirth. Neither of us have any related skills to that whatsoever.
Yeah, the last thing I need is 3 Guzdons staring at me being like, what do we do, Puck? I'm like, please give me some space. Yeah, so what did people think of like the goodbyes towards the end there where like we were saying bye to everyone when we meet Talna and folks were sending us on our way?
I feel bad.
You feel bad?
Well, yeah, I do feel bad a little bit because there was just so many people. Like, you guys met so many people here in this short amount of time. And I wanted you to be able to say goodbye to anybody who mattered. But at this point, it was like, man, there's like 11 people. There's like 11 people in this fucking town that they know or like, you know them. And so I was like, hey, Emori's not coming because Sarifa has become much more important to this party. Emori's doing like fucking nerdy shit. I was like, Sarifa and Ariel have to come, even
Hello,
though
hot
Ariel
dog
already said
Marcus.
goodbye. Sarifa
Welcome.
needed to be there, and I was like, I need to have Harold's dad there, or that's just like fucking, that's
Cool.
like, that's giving somebody mad blue balls. That's not fair.
Just leave without saying goodbye to my dad. All of a sudden, I get a message.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be super fucked up. So I didn't want that. So I wanted to try and fit in as many people as I could without like making it like a 15-minute goodbye scene, because that drags so fucking hard.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were going to do, if you were just gonna like line up everyone outside and we were just all gonna go like down the line and be like, yeah, hello, bye.
Oh, Talon could have done a high five down the line, like at a
Yeah.
concert. It would have been sick.
I could have made you a rock star, but instead
Make it real for me at some point, please.
one day when
Thank
you
you.
save somebody important,
Cool.
everyone's important.
Warren, Jelly Donut Cleric didn't want a goodbye hug. Okay, so first of all, what do you mean by Jelly Donut Cleric? Because I'm not sure I
think
fully
it made you
understand.
soft on the inside or something. I don't know. She called me a jelly donut earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's what it means. I'm just kind of
I
like,
love
I've
that
never
shit.
heard that before.
Yeah, but it's a great fucking term.
So yeah, when I was imagining how the goodbyes were going to go, I had this thought in my head of what I might say to Sarifa, and so when you hugged me, I was like, Lane's gonna do the thing where he's gonna like talk really fast and it's just gonna happen. But I'm like, no, I'm doing it this time. So I really had to like, before you finished, you're like, and then she's just gone. I'm like, no, this time Puck is going to break out of it.
No.
And I didn't want it to play like I was trying to be mean or anything like that. I just wanted it to come across as kind of like matter of fact, I guess, of this Because there's been a lot of ups and downs for Puck these past couple of days, and there's been a lot of people telling him he has to like grow up and get stronger, but also contradicting that with like, but also like stay kind and like generous and humble. And it's like a really hard line to walk with some people's expectations, and then things going out the window crazy and gods and all that stuff. And so like there's a lot for Puck to kind of think about how, like, what do I do? Where do I go? What's my next move? And so to his mind, it was like, I need to get stronger. And stronger could mean that I'm like more resilient emotionally. It could mean that I just have like, I'm better at athletics and that sort of thing. But it was this in the last session when he asked Sarifa for a hug, and she like gave him like half of a hug and then kind of like broke it off and was like, you need to like, you know, grow up, like get stronger. That was like, it was a kind of an important moment for him, because he felt like in that moment he was being the like vulnerable kind of like soft person that people kind of want from him, but a lot of people have been wanting him to get stronger as well. And so I think I thought a lot about how I would do this, and my thought process was like, if she hugs him again, he's gonna like not like reject it, but like maybe not quite accept it, and just kind of be like, listen, I can't always count that that's gonna be there waiting for me, so I shouldn't get used to it. And the thought of, I didn't want it to come across as like really harsh, but I just want to be like, you're a good teacher, and that's like one of the lessons I've learned. I guess it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's just kind of like, I didn't want it to be a diss, but I also want it to be something that like stuck. Of like, you know, I know things are calmer now, and like maybe we're allowed to be this way, but I'm trying to like toughen up, and maybe that means that you don't get a hug this time, because I need to work on this.
I thought it was a great character choice. I thought it was really strong character building.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I probably went off on a tangent there, but that was a pretty big deal for me.
No, that's why we're here. We're here for the tangents. You remember me on my soapbox?
Yeah,
Oh,
did that answer all the things?
I have a question. I have a question for chat and for everyone here. Did you catch how much foreshadowing I did tonight?
Oh, I could feel
I
the
think
weight
so.
of it without actually. I didn't consciously clock any of it, but I felt like there was shit happening, just on a subconscious level.
If what I know is true, and I know what I know is true, I feel like I caught a big bit of foreshadowing that I can't quite spoil. But I think I got some of the foreshadowing you were laying down.
Okay, good. I'm excited because there was a lot, and like a lot of it was really small, right? It was like one character says one thing to one of you guys, and it's just like a line, right? Like it's just anything. It's just anything. I mean, and then of course we got Artemis, dropping some mad lore.
I very much clocked when Puck when Warren confirmed with you that was Artemis, right? And you were like, "That's the name she gave you." I heard that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was.
Did you hear that, Warren?
I'm clocking that now. Like I heard it, but I did not register it because I was still like trying to piece together what the fuck had just happened to me.
I think if I were to go back and look at the VOD right now, you would see my face just be like. Wait a minute.
The thing is like that means nothing. The way I worded that is intentionally loose, you know?
Yeah.
It's intentionally vague, and every answer I give, unless it's pointless, I try to give as vague as possible.
Which I like. Want to be surprised.
It's
Constantly.
fucking hard.
I'm not sure how
I can
much I
imagine.
caught. I feel like I probably missed a lot because I was either distracted or in my own head.
When in
I'm-
character, thank God.
But I mean, I guess if I was to suss out anything, I mean, yeah, there was like the alluding to of like war of some description, some you know, anytime Ares is involved, probably something big is going to go down. But I guess the other things were like goes Don being like, you best just like never mention that this child is like a superhero ever again. And I guess just like I'm sure there was something with Malik and Darian in their ramblings about the king and bounties and stuff like that, but I didn't catch all of it. Those are the three moments that I picked up. If someone has something else they want to like fill me in on, I'd be appreciative of that.
I'm actually really excited to edit this VOD just so that I can, because when I am editing to create the TikToks, I rewatch so many times in that process. So I'm excited to dissect it.
It makes me like this uncomfortable. Wait, hold on. It makes me like this uncomfortable that people rewatch the VODs because I'm like, man, in runtime, I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying until it's done. And then I'm like, was that too far? Did I push any boundaries? Did I say something I shouldn't have said because I was super in the moment? No, we're good. What if I miss one of those though and I forget to delete the VOD?
Nope. Live with your
Spicy.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Question?
Broken Keep. Yeah, you want me to read this for you?
I already read it, but I'm just gonna read it out for chat.
Just for the chat.
Broken Keep is halfway between his cousin's crib and Splemshire. Didn't Puck want to go to Sarifa and maybe learn more about his dad? Yes. 100%. And when we were like making that decision of like who are we going after and are we going to go after Talon's mom, I think that's when it hit Puck the most of like I really do want to go, and I don't know like when we're gonna be back, if the green bows are even gonna still be here and I'll just have to like find my own way there or what. But he felt like he had been focusing too much on himself lately, and he was like, no, like this is important now. Like me learning more about this, while it like I really do want to go, like Talon deserves our help, and we are gonna help her mom, because that's like the immediate thing. So yeah, it was tough, especially when Saphira was like, when you come back, like there's a lot more I want to tell you about like our heritage and stuff like that. And I was like, don't tell me that. I gotta go. But yeah, and so that
slight upside, if Talon's mom is actually on the island right now, it's gonna be a real quick trip back, you know?
potentially. When Sarifa said 2 weeks, I was like, all right, we're either going to be like back in plenty of time or like miss this by like a fucking mile.
Yeah, by like months. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was like, we'll try and make it back in time, because I have no idea how long our trip is going to take. But yeah, I think with Puck and Talon, I haven't said this in the game. Like, Puck has thanked you guys for the past couple times, but one of the things that Puck did want to say and just never ended up coming out was Puck was actually really grateful to Talon when they were trying to take care of Ariel, and Sarifa and Gazdan were both like trying to get Puck out of the room. And Talon was trying to like kind of mediate between the two, but was on Puck's side as far as like Puck staying. She was like, I can just heal him and then it'll be fine. But like, you know, this is important that he be here. And so Puck definitely registered that, you know, Talon had his back in that moment. And so Puck wants to be there for Talon more, especially with like these more recent events of her perhaps feeling shaky about things. And so that's kind of why he was like, hey, you know, like, would you like a distraction? Do you want to like go over this book and do some like medical herbs or whatever, or even just like trying to be reaffirmative of like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah. No, and I mean, Talon's really excited that excited to learn, excited that like you're excited about the plant thing, but very much like clouded, brain fog right now. She's just really stressed out. But in that moment, like, I mean, when we were cleaning up Ariel, she really recognized how important it was to you that you see it through. You were the one that really was like, no, we can do this, we can save her, right? And so that she felt that it was important and wanted to back you up. Especially when everyone else just started ordering you around. She was like, no, not today. No, thank you. I'll not participate.
I'm really enjoying the interpersonal machinations of this party a lot. There's many layers, you know, as there's many layers in like NPCs, right? Like I don't give you guys a lot of flat NPCs. The layers of this party are crazy, you know, because everyone has a different opinion of everyone else, and yet they're still together, and they all feel a certain way about each other by now. You know, they all have opinions on each other, whether they're positive or negative. You know, I think that they all have both of each other a little bit. You know, like they all are starting to see flaws in each other, and they're all starting to see really great things about each other. Yep. And that's really cool, right? Because like that's humans, right? Once you get to know them, you know the shitty things about them, but you also know the amazing things about them, and you will never know either until you get to know them, and that's happening.
Yeah,
I think that's why I really liked how a much of a long play where you've been doing. You know, we've been 10 sessions deep, 6 days in game time. I think it's just given us a lot of time to develop really early on, and I think it's setting us up for so much like action and consequence in like the rest of the campaign, really. Just because we're not like fast forwarding through like 3 months and still getting to know each other. We've gone through a whole bunch of crazy shit, and we've had a lot of time to really hash it out and you know, try to talk to each other. And I think that is going to only make the rest of it better from here on out.
Yeah, the way I like to think about it right now is like campaign 1. I know nobody else was around except for a couple people, but campaign 1, the prologue was what, 3 sessions, maybe?
Yeah.
You guys are just, like, in my opinion, you've just finished the prologue of Blood and Ice. You have finished the prologue. This is, you know, the we met story, right? Like, this is how I met your mother, the meeting your mother story, you know? This is that moment where you all come together and you end up, you know, one day eventually probably dying together, because that's how this works, right? That's how Dungeons and Dragons is now you're a team, and either you retire or you die. But you'll be a team. But at this point, you've been through such incredible trauma that it's going to take a hell of a lot to tear you guys apart now, because you've seen some of the most horrible things you can see, and you've done for each other some of the bravest things you can do for other people, right?
Yeah.
And that's just the prologue. You were all like, oh my god, let me bare my heart to you, you know? Like, even with Harold, who is like shy and nervous, has done huge, brave things for these people he barely knows, you know?
He tries.
And he's done well. Like, when it matters, Harold has stepped up to the plate and hit a fucking grand slam.
Don't tell Harold that. He's just gonna deny it.
Yeah, I know, that's Harold for you.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's It's been really nice seeing all the characters so open so early, which gives us a ton of room, a ton of time for growth and change, and things will definitely pick up pace from here. I guarantee that, whether that's a positive or a negative for you, things are going to pick up pace. I'm not going to do, you know, if we're traveling for 5 days, it's not going to be 10 sessions of travel. It's going to be one session, probably, right? Maybe two, maybe 3 at most.
I hope so. I would hope so.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, okay, well, we take 3 hours to do 1 day of travel, and I just make you guys role play against each other for 3 hours straight. Like, nah, that's not going to happen.
I am really excited about because we've already like aired out so much already, as you were saying. Like, how deep does it go? Kind of thing, you know, like how much more is we gonna learn over time? How long will it take? I'm excited to see how it plays out.
There's so much
about each other, about everything,
about yourselves, right? About the world around you and how you interact
yeah.
with it, and how you changed with the world, and how those changes that you see your comrades going through affect the way you feel about them. Does it make you feel warm and fuzzy? Does it make you feel scared? Does it make you want to create distance between them? And when that distance gets created, if it does, how does the other person react to that? Do they try and close it? Do they create distance as well? What happens to stop that? What breaks those barriers? It's just such an organic party right now, and I really do like that.
Me too.
I mean, I made Puck with the intention of having a character that would like be very reactionary and grow with the world, and goddamn, has there ever been a lot of things to react to and grow from. Yeah.
I was actually saying to Lane the other day, we were talking about secret things, but one of the things that I said, again, this is all it's still a very new experience for me, even though I'm like a year deep into playing this. And I feel like every time we have a session, I'm always like, is this what acting is? But just like, I think it's really, really cool how as like we move through the world, I feel like I'm simultaneously, like I created Talon at a fixed point. And as we move through the world, she, you know, grows in like what we're creating, but it also reveals what happened before to me. And it's really bizarre. I think one of the things I said to Lane was that sometimes when I have realizations about Talon, it feels like I'm finding out information about a friend more than I'm thinking it up myself.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool thing, and I love it.
I mean, like, I can sympathize because I 100% did not make Puck with the idea of like, oh yeah, no, he was definitely like helped deliver like kids and stuff. Like, that never occurred to me ever. Until the moment was in front of me of like, oh shit. I was like, I mean, that would make sense actually, because of just like who he was back then. He probably would have been asked to like help with this sort of stuff. So I was just kind of like, well, I guess that is a thing that happened.
And because of that, we had a 30-minute birth scene at the top of the episode. 30
incredible
fucking minutes, no joke. And the whole time, normally when a piece goes that long early on, I'm like, oh, we gotta wrap this up. This time I was like, nah, this is gonna take as long as it fucking does.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. That little jump.
I mean, you gave it to me. You were literally like, hey, let's do this later. And I was like, cool, I can help you deliver a baby.
I mean, I wasn't even.
You put it up to me, and I was like, yes, give me that.
I wasn't even sure it was going to happen. I was just kind of like, you know, if I'm here when it happens, I can try and help. That's an offer I'm making. And then I should have known. Lane would just been like, yoink, I'm taking that for next session.
Be careful what you say around your DM, kids.
Yeah, truth.
Never tell your DM anything. All they'll do is take it and use it against you.
That's why I tell Lane everything. I want to be hurt again.
Hurts so good. Yeah, I think one of my favorite things that happens sometimes, and this kind of goes back to like how much do you pay attention to chat. I love it when I've like thought about something a lot and I'm like, this is how I want to handle this as the character, or like something unexpected happens and you just like do something that's like unexpected or like shocks everyone, and then afterwards you glance at chat and all you see is like the like like all the little like wide-eyed emojis, just like, oh my god, and you're like, yes, that's exactly the reaction I was hoping for.
There is some big payoff. Chat is sometimes like a big payoff, and you're like, I'm so energized. Ooh.
Miss Liz, I'm not sure if you were still interested, but I remember early on you were asking about the scars. No questions about those scars more no. Okay, all right, that's fine. I cannot talk about it. That's fine. Yeah.
Can I take a moment to just boast about my prop that I made for myself?
Go for it.
Would that be fine? Now I put it in the Discord, but I'm just really excited.
brag to us.
So yeah, so I actually, this is the fabric I took from a t-shirt. I actually dyed it myself, as well as this cotton string I dyed with leftover Easter egg dye. It was fabric dye on the fabric though. And then I embroidered the little plant on the front. I've never embroidered before, that was fun. Really thankful for theater school. And then inside, I can literally just pull out a real book. It's just got little slits so everything can go in. I'm just really proud. I literally spent all weekend on this. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. All weekend. It was worth it.
I mean, sometimes you just get that inspiration to do something and you're like, no, you know what? This is what we're doing for the weekend.
This is good.
This is my life now. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I do wish I took photos of the inside because I feel like it was really, really easy to make, and I totally could have put a little tutorial up in the Discord if anyone ever wanted to do it for themselves. Maybe I'll just make another one, I guess.
Donut.
Oh man, you can't just drop things at the end like scar bombs. Listen, that's just how I roll apparently.
I presumed that the scars were from real.
Yeah.
When I saw chat freaking out about it, I was like, but like we know when that happened, don't we? But maybe we don't. I don't know.
Puck's got a lot of scars. You wanna
Like-
know how I got these scars?
Interesting.
Honestly, when chat had such a crazy reaction, I'm like, should I think up some other fucking scars? Like, I was like, wait a minute, there might be something here. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a huge spoiler. Those 6 punctures, because I specifically said like puncture scars, are from Ariel like puncturing him with her ribs. I don't think it's too big of a spoiler to mention it. This is late post show, so only you guys get to know. But
Secret information.
Secret. This is what you get when you hang out. But I think so. We talked. The idea came to me earlier, like session 3 or 4, I think, when we were healing Grek and Darian? Desden. The idea of, you know, like, heal me, but can you leave the scar? And so that's what kind of like the impetus was for that moment, was because it had never occurred to Puck to be like, to leave the scars. Like, his whole thought behind healing was like, heal everything, like get rid of the pain, including like the memory of that moment. And then so when he was healing that in that moment, he was like, I just made the decision that he was going to leave those scars as a reminder. I won't go into a lot of detail about what that reminder is. That might come up at some point if it happens. But Puck made the decision to keep those as a reminder.
Love it.
I mean, I really like that idea. Also, I just remembered that I killed poor Desden.
Yeah, I was pretty broken up about that for a while too. How dare you forget?
I know. I know. How dare I forget? I didn't forget until after you fucking cremated him. Okay.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
You said
I'm
his
very-
name, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's the guy I killed."
I think I'm gonna head out. I'm very hungry, but I'm gonna hang out in chat with everybody and keep watching, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you for coming and hanging
The
out.
video.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna need to visit the TikTok later and catch up because I feel like I haven't done that yet. I want to see more
I
of
feel
what's.
like I have so much power down here by myself.
I mean, it helps that you've got the mood lighting and everything as well to like back it up.
I do look like a fucking Marvel villain.
Oh man.
Bring me the duck.
I want to know, and I don't want to know. I don't want you to tell me if Puck has feelings for Ariel. They have known each other for 2 days. Ah, interesting. Okay, I find it interesting how chat will like anytime Puck does anything that might even hint at interest, they're like, "Is Puck catching feels?" And it's funny because it's happened with a few people. They're like, "Oh, you're definitely crushing on Sarifa. Oh, you're definitely crushing on Ariel." I'm not gonna say. You get to find that out for yourselves. Yeah. I also found it very funny how when we were in the cabin and Victor and Harold were like, "Oh God, fucking Talon's being cute. Look away." And I'm just kind of like, "Hey Talon, how's it going?" Like, everyone else is fucking freaking out, and I'm like, listen, I birthed a baby today. Like, I helped birth a baby today. I've seen like blood, gore, and all kinds of weird fucking like I've sewn most appendages together. This is not faze me.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah, no. It was funny because you guys both made that decision, and in that moment I'm like, Puck's not following suit. This is the one time where he's like chill.
I mean, Harold made it because like, what the fuck? To him, he's just like, there is a girl in her pajamas. I'm not supposed to look, right? That's not what I'm supposed to do. And then as soon as
Bonk.
Victor was like, nope, Harold was like, right, that is the right thing to do. Don't look.
Oh, what else? Oh yeah, so God, when all you guys were like, "Puck, you're like so cute outside of your armor. Look at you, you little," and I was like, "Oh God, this is feeding into Puck's anxiety more than anything else."
That's what you get when you're 16 and a half elf. You
Well,
are small.
Yeah, I was like, I realized that as well. I was like, yeah, I guess they haven't really seen me on my armor at all. But when they were all like, "Oh, look at you, you little thing," I was like, guys, please, first of all, Talon, I've saved you from death a couple times. Like, you can't belittle me like this.
I feel like I should just state, Harold was not acting like that. It was just Victor and Talon.
Yeah, that is fair. Yeah. Honestly, Puck was immediately like, I felt better when he was throwing me across the room. That felt normal. This is weird.
That makes sense.
You know the part where you're beating the shit out of me? Yeah, that felt more comfortable than what's happening right now.
That was kind of actually cool. This is just really demoralizing. I'm gonna go put my armor back on and sleep in it forever. Thanks, bye.
Yeah. I'm gonna go take a bath and feel self-conscious about my body, okay?
Touch
What
my
normal
stars.
people do.
Oh man.
Miss Liz, knowing Puck's age changes everything for you? Is that true?
You
I
said
mean, it
youngest,
is
but you
pretty
never
young.
got an age? Ah, yeah.
No, that's fair. I mean, that it's young. The world is different when you're young.
Yeah, I didn't realize people weren't aware of that. But yeah, we don't have anyone that's 50. Everyone is in their 20s except for me.
Yeah, Puck is 16. Harold is 20, 21?
20.
20. Okay. Harold is 20, Victor's 28, and Talon's 27, I think.
26, I thought.
26, yeah, somewhere in there. They're a little bit older, and then these two are a little bit younger, but the Puck is like quite a bit younger.
Yeah. Puck is the baby.
He is the baby. But I am really excited to see how they grow, right? Because Puck's not even like done filling out, you know. Neither is Harold technically. Harold still got like bulk to put on.
Well,
Yep.
so that was one of the things that I like when you play around with a character that is on the younger side, is that if for whatever reason the campaign does go long enough, like they not only grow like mentally, emotionally, but there's also like some physical growth that goes into that as well, where they're like, you know, if you fast forward 2 years, they will have like changed.
I'm waiting for like there to be like a week to a month of just like downtime, and both Puck and Harold just have a growth spurt, and all of a sudden they're the tallest members of the party.
Harold puts on like 30 pounds of muscle just through like straight hormones.
Yeah. And it's just like we cut back after like this bit of downtime, and like Puck is fucking jacked as shit. He's 6'5", you know. He had to like get his armor more he had to get his armor built bigger. Harold is, you know, just like you said, Lane, just jacked as all hell. And like,
what's up? My name's Harold. I'll fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. Fucking Talon went back home for a little bit, and she comes back and this happens, and she's like, what the fuck happened to you two?
Yeah, we're gonna go through that training montage, and then we're just gonna come out of it fucking jacked.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because like I haven't gotten a good opportunity to like very descriptively talk about Victor's body, but I will, because like in my head, no joke, Victor is like a mad sex symbol, and I just need him to take his shirt off in public one time for me to go into gross detail of how sexy he is. It's going to happen.
It's that light blue skin.
Oh yeah.
His
constantly dripping.
Oh God.
It lets him glisten in the sun.
Oh yeah.
It threw me a little bit for a loop when I was asking Victor and Talon for training, and then Victor was like, well, usually you know, I asked for something in return when like making a deal or a trade. And in the back of my mind, I was like, I know. Puck was like, oh, I'm interested in like what do you want? But I was like, oh, he's gonna want to like learn something in exchange, and I'm like, well, what do I have? I'm like, my main thing is medicine. And then yeah, so when he offered the like, I'll train you in this if you show me like medicine, and how both of them were interested, I was like, oh well, I mean, sure. I'm always happy if people want to like learn more about you know, the healing arts. In the wrestling match, when I was using Victor's bad arm against him, and how best to maneuver it to like get advantage, and you were talking about how that's partly because of like my medical background of like just knowing how to kind of like best use that. I've had in my head like if Puck ever needs to intimidate someone, how that would go, and you kind of like touched on it a little bit in that moment of like just like how much time Puck has spent putting people back together, and how he knows how to take people apart as well, and how much easier it is
at all
to do one thing over the other. So yeah, anyways, you know, if Dark Puck ever comes out, there might be I might have thought of some things to say.
I mean, Dark Puck is coming. one day.
That's a promise, he says.
Look, whether or not I have to kill you and make Dark Puck happen in the 3rd campaign as a fucking lich, I'll fucking do it.
It's
What
like,
a fucking thing that would be.
it's like, listen, you little shit. One way or another, I'm forcing you to turn. You don't know. You fought that prelogue. The prologue was bad. I've got lineup after lineup after lineup of shit until you fucking.
No, don't you
Oh,
worry.
man.
The prologue was literally designed to be horrendous. That was kind of my goal, was to make it a slog and hard and really, really awful, so that everything that comes after it is like, oh, we can fucking do this. We've done worse. For a
Throws
while.
5 black dragons at us, because why not?
Kamatola, hello, welcome. How's it going?
Oh, Puck with a mustache. Puck with a mustache. Fuck. And it's got to be like a French mustache that curls. Je suis Dark Puck.
We ride hard for Dark Puck. What is going on now?
Je suis Dark Puck.
Now Dark Puck is an emo teenager boy. I mean, listen, maybe it's a little in that direction when things get really bad.
It's just full of angst.
I'm trying
Teenage angst.
I'm trying not to make it too much about just like teen angst when those moments happen. Like, I do want it to be like, because I know people are like, oh, Puck is young, he's just like so moody and stuff when he gets down or whatever, but I want it to be more like, but also like really heavy things are happening and like it's not just him being like angsty.
No one can take away like dealing with your first death, or like, your first death after you had some rough shit happen when you were younger, and then you go away, you want to start a new life, learn new things, and then just death after death. That's not like a young kid having a breakdown. That's like a human being going through massive trauma.
Yeah.
I see someone has been paying attention. Liz. Yeah, there's a whole it's interesting the more we kind of go through this, learning more about people's backstories and what people discover about their own backstories, like Lee was mentioning earlier, with when you kind of like discover something about your character. There's some things that I've written, some things that I'm discovering that the party doesn't know yet about Puck, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody else's. But there's a few names I've dropped here or there regarding to Puck's past that I'm interested to see if we ever head back to Groma, if that'll become a thing or not. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff to dig into from those years past.
I'm excited. You guys, there's so much shit. There's so much shit. Like, just think about what you've done, and it's been 10 sessions, roughly 30 hours of gameplay. You're about to hit level 5, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
We've got Puck's whole backstory to tackle, and future story. We've got Harold's whole backstory and like the rest of everything to tackle. There's different chunks of Harold's backstory. Now we know about his mom, and we know about the school. Which of those things are super relevant? Which of them become more relevant or less relevant as time goes on? We got Puck's family, but we also got Puck's other family, this whole village that is kind of his family. Like, we can't just never see them because that's a huge part of Puck. We've got Talon's mom, but we've also got, where does Talon want to go? Who is Talon? What is this with Talon's dad? And then you got Victor, and well, Victor's a locked book, Victor. I know a lot about Victor. Victor has chosen to share very little of himself with his friends.
Yeah, as I think about it, I was like, definitely Victor is one of the people we know the least of in terms of the party. Like, he's brought up some stuff. Like, he's made himself open to us and vulnerable in some respect, but he's not really told us anything much about himself. And so there's definitely gonna have to be a moment where, like, when we're like not freaking out about this thing or that thing. We're like Victor, like, what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to go? Because I mean, first of all, you just kind of like left your crew and this boat that you had some claim to come with us. Like, do you want to get another boat? Can we help you get a boat? Like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Victor seems the most closed off in regards to what they actually want out of life.
Yeah.
And whether or not that's because of what he's been through in the war, and he hasn't been able to like trust people again yet. It will be interesting to see when he finally decides he can trust the party fully.
Yeah, Victor's interesting because, you know, one thing that he has said over and over and over and over again, he goes, I'm a pirate, I'm a pirate, I'm a pirate, I'm a pirate, I'm a pirate. But one thing we all know about Victor is that he fought in a war against his own people. But instead of ever talking about that, he says, I'm a pirate. I was a pirate. So there's like a lot there. You know, there's a lot there that he's choosing to say, I was a pirate as opposed to I fought in a war.
Yep.
I find that really interesting. Like that part really interests me. I can't wait to dig more into that, but it takes time.
Oh, Lee brings up something really great here. It's interesting because as much as Victor is closed off, me/Talon actually feels like we know him best through his character, morals, and actions. And yeah, I feel like that's what I was kind of getting at with he's opened up to us a lot, and even though we don't know about him, like we know him. It's this weird thing of like we know almost next to nothing about Victor, but Puck trusts Victor. Because even not knowing his backstory and exactly what his like life story is and what shit he's been through, the amount of times that Victor has like stood up for Puck or stood up for someone else and the things that he says, and the actions that he's taken, Puck is like, as much as like he might like embarrass or coddle me or whatever it is, like his actions have shown him to be a trustworthy person, and for Puck, like actions speak louder than words, and some people's words have been speaking pretty loudly as well. But you know, it's just one of these things where you get such a good read for someone's character that you, whatever is back there, whatever is in the closet of his story, Puck is like, you know, if you want to talk about it, we can get to it. But otherwise, like you're like a part of the group, and I trust you.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see where everything goes. That's really where I'm at now. I'm like, I have so many things that I would love to tell the whole world about, but then I would ruin my own story, so I can't. So I'm all dry. I'm all out of stuff to say, but I'm having a ton of fun. And Evil Victor is terrifying.
Yikes.
Liz does make a good point that Victor, if he was like a navigator, should be able to know exactly what that fishing vessel is capable of and where it might go.
It's true.
Interesting thought.
But kiddies, I'm heading off to Betty Bye. It's been a slice, but I gotta eat and I gotta poop and I gotta sleep.
Yeah, I gotta get to sleep. I gotta work at 8:30 tomorrow.
Oh fuck.
Oh fun. Okay.
Yay.
Well,
good night, chat.
Thank you
We
both
love
for coming and chatting, chitter-chatting, answering
Of
questions.
course.
Always a pleasure
Of
to have
course.
you guys. Anything you guys wanted to say before you peace out for the evening?
Thank you guys for being great players, and thank you, chat, for being a super fun audience. What
Drink
the
your
fuck?
drugs, stay in milk, and don't do school.
Yeah.
Can I take a second to just read chat? Sorry, guys, didn't mean to go AFK for so long. My pack of smokes journey turned into a massive police presence.
Wait, excuse me?
This sounds like a story for when we have more time, but I really want to hear more about it. Actually, like post in the Discord because I want to know.
Oh man.
Oh, also, Rob, thanks for joining our community. I'm glad you enjoy it. But yeah, I know I'm done. Warren, I will see you after my stream on Friday, probably.
Entirely possible. Yes.
I mean, normally that's the way she goes, right?
Yeah. I catch everybody's like leftovers. I just go so late that everyone comes to me afterwards. It's a good time.
If it works, man. All right. Well, I'm out of here. But Warren, you have a good night. Thomas, you have a good night. Chat, you have a good night. I'll see you guys soon.
See you later.
Later.
Thomas, just don't. Oh, all right. He's already gone. Well, Thomas, don't dream or think about freaking orc toddlers smiling at you. That's what I wanted to say. Oh man. All right. Let's go to the main face cam here because we can, because we're allowed to do that. I think I hope it just doesn't break. But 1 second. It'll break that, I know, but maybe I can make this work. I go here. Oh, maybe not. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I can fix this. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm just gonna go over here, and then we're gonna go like this. How about that? Does that reset us? Maybe sort of, kind of. It'd be cool if it did. It'd be awfully cool if it did, but it might not. All right. Well, you can't see me. Everything is dark and full of terrors, apparently. That's unfortunate. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're just gonna look at this for a hot minute. I'm sorry. For some reason, my camera doesn't want to swap back over again. But yeah, I guess we're just. Oh wait, here we go. Now it works. There we go. Ah, we made it. We made it, chat. It was a rough journey, but we did it. There we go. It worked. Tech wizard. That's what I am. Yeah, I just want to touch on 1 or 2 things before we kind of wrap up here. Liz, you are definitely paying a lot of attention. You're picking up on all the subtle little backstory things. And yes, the term "it takes a village" definitely might be appropriate. So that's kind of why it's important to Puck. Saying thanks for another Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Yes. Oh yes, of course. I'm excited for you to see when Puck and Sarifa first meet, because it's a time. I made an edit of when we first met because it was such a hilarious moment. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Very good. Well, chat stay open after stream. Chat never closes. Of course. 5 cop cars just taking pictures. Okay. Everyone peacing out. There we go. Warren, did you see what she posted in Discord? She's taking notes. I mean, yes, I saw her summary. She posted a summary of things, and I noticed that, and I'm like, yeah, goddamn, you're really going all out on that. So she's bringing the power of accommodations. Oh man. I mean, it's nice to have someone who just has like a Google Doc to just be like, you want to be caught up? Boom. There it is. Yeah, so good job. Good on you. Your dedication is inspiring. You know the story better than any of us, I'm sure. Yeah, you're like the historian of the campaign at this point. Just made that real quick on my lunch. Yeah, no biggie. No biggie. Yeah, no. But also just in general, yes, lore master. When we come back to campaign 2 at the end of it all, we'll have to go to you and be like, this is the transcript of everything that happened. And then we'll make it into like a motion comic or something. Something really badass. Endless love and appreciation for our lore master. Yeah! But yeah, it's not necessarily D&D related, but I just want to say thanks to everyone. Like, seriously, everyone's support and hanging out and all the streams and being introduced to other streamers and the community that's been coming out of this and everything else has been like super, very touching and amazing to be a part of. And Liz, you've been a really big part of that, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. It's so nice to see familiar faces kind of like across all these different streams and platforms and things, and I'm really excited to see where this all goes, especially like besides just mine and Randolph's like stuff in general, to see where the campaign goes and the new people that are coming in and the faces we start to recognize, you know, the names in chat. It's been really cool to see how that grows and the passion that's been happening behind it, because at least for my part, that's what I was really hoping for, was for people to get invested and have people that were excited for the next session and be like gossiping and theory crafting about what was going to happen next, is just like the best I could hope for. Long way in the future, but Miss Liz should be the host of the post-mortem at the end of the campaign. Ah, interesting. My notes on chapter 1 for just stream hashtag is 5 pages. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to touch on. There are a lot of moments. I don't know what's important to everybody, but there's a lot of moments. Lucky man, thank you. I should read chat here, but chat here disappears quickly, and I'm a slow reader. I don't know if anyone's picked up on that. He's a normie and deals with all the ADHD nonsense. Ah, yes. Well, you know, we all have to find our halves. Well, I don't know. You can be a whole all by yourself, but it's nice to have someone that compliments your personality, your demeanor. Okay, well, thank you, Lee, for coming by and hanging out. Even after peacing. I hope you had a good snack and you have a good night. I will probably be ending the stream pretty shortly here. But thank you everyone for gracing the post stream. I wasn't sure when I first started this if people would be interested, but it's really awesome that people have taken to like asking questions and being involved. It's really nice to be able to chat with the community. Trisha's very dyslexic friendly. I wish we have a different, more friendly font. Great would know. I mean, I can probably change some of the fonts and things like that, but it's just like, how can I make it big without it being like overbearing if I have something else on the screen? It's always a balancing act. Now, you guys, party interaction is the main reason I like watching your sessions. I'm glad. I don't think I've ever been a part of a campaign that has been like such a, like, it's been a pretty slow burn as far as like in-game time. But with that, just like the amount of character development we've been able to do between characters has been like heavy, like intense. There's a lot that's happened. So the fact that Lane is saying this is just the prologue is like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but he was right. It's gonna take a lot for us to like be pulled apart at this point. Playing League of Headaches while watching. Ooh boy. Yeah. I guess that's gonna be pretty much it for me for this one, unless anyone has any final questions, queries, concerns, anything like that. I'm still shocked by 16-year-old baby Puck. Yeah, I purposely set out to have a young character. I didn't realize that you did not know, though. I'm surprised. You seem to know everything else, but that one did miss. I thought he was like 18, not 16. I mean, there was a bit of a debate between making him 16 or 17, and then I kind of landed a little bit on I guess we landed on 16 in the end. I'd be fine with either, but I just wanted that kind of like young adult feel. I'm twice Puck's age. I mean, you know, I'm not 16 either, but yeah. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for me I know he might come across as an early 20s person, but that's just because he's gone through some stuff and he has some emotional maturity, if nothing else. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday. I believe, I'm not sure exactly when Lane starts streaming, but he'll be streaming Friday, and I'll probably be streaming Friday late, as it tends to be. Not sure exactly what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing some kind of co-op thing usually on the Fridays. Otherwise, I'll try and get some work done on some more YouTube stuff for like Thursday at the earliest, or sometime on the weekend. I do try and post some stuff to YouTube channel. Sometimes it's like highlight reel compilations, stuff like that. I do my own version of some of like the D&D moments on occasion. Like, I think this last one actually had the moment between me and Talon crying in the hall. So it was funny that she mentioned that. But yeah. Anyways, I'm sure you guys know all the stuff. You guys have all been supporting me, but for anyone watching the VODs, if you would like to continue supporting myself and everyone here, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I do stream to both YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, so if the VODs of these end up dying on Twitch, they'll still be up on the YouTube channel. And I have my own Discord for those interested that I would love to be able to chat with you guys on as I bounce ideas for my own streams off of chat about what we might do next. And there's more interesting things coming, like possibly a live action thing, but I'm not gonna say too much about it because it's not shot yet. We're done rehearsals kind of. Anyways, yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, good rest of your week, and I will see all of you guys in the country. Peace out.